This man's name is Yu Chan-yu. He's the chairman of the board of a billion-dollar South Korean corporation. Chairman Yu is a sophisticated modern businessman, but he feels it's important to uphold and observe ancient Confucian traditions. Wearing the robes of a 16th century Confucian scholar official, Chairman Yu performs this ritual twice a year to express his loyalty to both family and the state. Chairman Yu is a defense contractor, come to worship his ancestor, Korea's defense minister 400 years ago. Chairman Yu passes easily between the world of tradition and the modern world of industrial South Korea. For to revere the past is to preserve the status quo, and Mr. Yu is very much a part of the modern Korean elite. Mr. Yu is the chairman of the Pungsan Corporation, South Korea's major defense contractor. This brass mill is the largest of its kind in the world. Here the company produces copper sheeting, coin blank for much of Asia's money, and ammunition for South Korea's army. Chairman Yu runs his company with a sense of Confucian hierarchy and authority that is never far below the surface.
나도 우리 사원들에게 늘 말하기를 같이
As I always emphasize to my company workers at Punsan, the most important virtues of Confucianism are cooperation and harmonious relationships between people in a group. And so I encourage my workers to think of the company as a family. I try to create a kind of family atmosphere to get them to care about the company and to get involved in cooperating in the company's growth. These days, it is fashionable to be self-centered and individualistic, so I try to instill in our employees a sense of belonging and an awareness of Confucian ideas by exposing them to our cultural heritage.
Each summer, 30 of the company's mid-level managers travel to this Confucian academy in the chairman's ancestral village. In lectures on Korean culture, the trainees' work is linked to higher social goals and infused with company spirit. This program is unusual, even by Korean standards, but it reflects Korea's deep-rooted Confucian traditions.
I don't doubt for a minute that Chairman Yu of the Pungsan Group is sincere in his devotion and his interest in keeping alive a tradition and a way of life. The trouble is that you can also put a different gloss on all of this Confucianism. Here is the paternal authority, the chairman of a large company, inculcating his workers in a hierarchical system of values which buttress his authority and, you know, strengthen the authoritarian values of the company as well.
Over the past 20 years, Confucianism has served Korean industry and government well. Authority has been strong, strikes forbidden, and wages kept low. Workers' loyalty and sacrifices have helped to build up South Korea. In modern East Asia, the spirit of Confucianism bolsters the spirit of nationalism. In the 1950s, post-war South Korea was bitterly poor, with little industry, heavily dependent on U.S. aid. The economy was sinking under a corrupt regime. When student demonstrations toppled the government, chaos intensified. Into the breach stepped General Pak Chung-hee, who seized power in a military coup in 1961. He was convinced South Korea had to develop economically to survive.
He sort of, for the first time, creates an economic nationalism, a more positive program that people can unite behind. Now, he does this in a repressive manner. At the same time, he's saying there are two major things we have to do in Korea. We have to protect our security from an invasion from the north, and we have to develop. And in order to do those two things, it's going to require that we be disciplined. And that's the nice word for we're going to have to abridge human rights.